Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday morning. Well, right now as I'm talking to you, it's just before 12, but I think the beginning of the footage that you'll be seeing is right around 10. I am getting started printing off a sketch that I did for an editorial commission. I've been waiting the last couple of hours to have the approval, to get the approval, the go ahead to move on to color from the art director, and I just have. So the sketch that I presented and cleaned up and edited digitally, I am now printing out onto my Reeves BFK. As I'm doing that, as I'm waiting for that to finish and just give it a little bit of time to dry and make sure it's all set, I'm finishing up this Frappuccino Frappuccino illustration, which is the last in my series on my Then and Now series. And I'm sure I will actually do more of that in the future, but this is the last one that I had planned for now, before I move on to my next personal project, my next self-initiated project. So I'm excited to share that at the end of this week. Yeah, looking forward to wrapping that all up. That is the morning so far, and right now I'm sitting here having finished some of the first. This editorial thing is 6 illustrations, so I've finished the first layer on 3 of them. I need to finish the first layer on all of them today, so when I'm back in the studio this afternoon, that is what I'll do. But as you saw, as I think you will have seen, I have been testing out my new palette, which is this one that has the little seal, the rubber seal around the edge. So I'm gonna actually just seal this up right now for a couple of hours, and we'll see if everything stays nice and wet and workable. That's one of the complaints you guys have mentioned about Hydrus watercolors, and that's one of my complaints as well, is that they do dry out and they don't reactivate, which is also the reason why I love working with them, because they're so great to layer with. But it can be challenging if you have mixed up color and you have to step away for a time. So we'll see how this palette works. If I like it, I will put the link in the description box. So I'm planning on working with it all week, so I should have a good sense by then. Yeah, so what else is happening today? Actually, let me just bring back over the list. This is week 3 in the 4-week series on prepping for maternity leave. So this week the main focus is, well, the 2 big things are Patreon and then this editorial assignment. This editorial assignment, I think, is going to be the last client work that I do before maternity leave, so that's kind of exciting. So the finals due on Friday, so I definitely have to finish that. And then for Patreon, I have been planning ahead and doing planning on filming 2 critique videos, so that I'll have one for July and then one for August when I'm away. So I need to film those, and I need to upload some additional content to Patreon. I'm going to do the real-time version of that lemon painting I did. I'm going to upload some new free access links for my Skillshare classes. My $5 plus patrons get access to my latest Skillshare classes for the 30 days after they're published. So for this summer, I was thinking I might do open access for my patrons for all of my classes. So I need to get that set up. And then I also want to do 2 new behind the scenes posts where I talk about the process of a client project and the pricing and yeah, all the communication, all of that. I have done a couple of those and people seem to really like them, so I want to make a couple more of them as well. Yeah, and that's kind of the overall plan for this week. So we'll see if we get to everything. I also kind of urgently from last week, I need to finish updating the SEO on some of my older videos on YouTube. I've been doing that in the evenings lately. And I'm doing that now because I have a free trial with vidIQ, and I'm on the premium one, which is like $50 a month, and I don't think I'm going to keep that up. But it is helpful for just kind of bulk adding tags and editing tags. So I'm trying to get that done before the free trial runs out, and then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to keep it. So it's 11:53 right now, so I have to head down momentarily to relieve the babysitter. I think I'm going to try to post on Instagram really quick before I do that. And yeah, and then Penny will go down for her nap. Well, after lunch she'll go down for her nap, and then I'll work during nap time and also when the afternoon babysitter is here. So that's overview of the day, overview of the week. So I am going to go ahead and get to Instagram. I don't know if you guys can hear Penny, but I'm like right about to come up downstairs and she can hear me moving around. So she's standing at the foot of the stairs saying, "Hi mama, hi mama, hi mama." Yes, anyway, going downstairs now.
So I heard that you stayed in that town, you married young, and you settled down, you got your wish, are you happy now? 'Cause years ago you used to speak of these dreams where we did travel across different seas. I'd write you love songs and you'd sing for me. Tell me that we could have been more than a memory, a forgotten dream. Just tell me that you felt it too. But I was chasing
Hey guys, it is about 4:45. I am just wrapping up for the day. I like the palette so far. I only left it covered for I left it closed for like 3 hours, and Hydrus on its own would have started to dry by then, but I still definitely would have been able to come back to some of the the bigger puddles of it. So even though I'm done with those colors and with this painting, I'm going to see how well it does at keeping the colors liquid. So I will report back on that definitely by the end of this vlog. Yeah, I just have to write a couple of quick emails right now, and then I'll wrap up for the day, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. It is Wednesday, right about 8 o'clock. I just got into the studio. All right, so the main 3 things today are to film the critique videos for Patreon, and I've actually decided, so I'm doing, I think I already told you guys, I'm doing one for July and one for August, just so they're ready to go. And then I think I'm also going to do one, because there were a lot of submissions since I needed 2 pieces. One for July and one for August. There were 8 submissions this month, and yeah, I felt like doing something a little extra and something kind of fun. So I'm going to do a video with the 6 that weren't chosen, where I do one piece of what's working well and one piece of feedback for what could be improved. And I think I'm going to put that on YouTube so you guys can kind of get a taste for what the critique videos are like. So yeah, I'm going to try to film that today as well. So that'd be 3 videos. Those I do pretty informally. I just do them with my camera, sitting with the vlog camera, pretty much this exact setup. So I just need to take a few more minutes to look at the pieces and think about what my feedback will be. So that's priority. Well, that's one of the big priorities. And then the other one is to finish the colored pencil layers for the editorial project I've been working on. I did finish all of the watercolor yesterday, so that's good. But I had a dream last night that I went into labor, and in the dream I was worried about oh no, I only finished the first layer. How am I going to get these done? And I was trying to have Eric bring me my iPad so I could do it in the hospital. So I don't want that to happen. So I think I'm gonna maybe prioritize that and do that first thing so that I'm not worried about it anymore. And then the thing I've been working on all week, kind of in the in-between times, is updating the SEO on my older videos. So just trying to get better about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. Hello guys, it is 11:52, so I'm right about to go downstairs and relieve the babysitter. I finished doing the colored pencil layers on my editorial commission. I am going to need to do some digital stuff on that. It's just going to be the fastest way to do it. So I finished that, scanned it in, removed the background, and I'm going to pull it into Procreate on my iPad, probably while Penny's napping, and do some final little tweaks to get that ready. And then hopefully we'll, you can hear her downstairs again. Hopefully we'll have that finished and sent off to the client by tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about spontaneously going into labor and not meeting my deadline. And then the other thing I finished, I'm gonna flip over to my list here. Other thing I finished was critique videos. I filmed actually 3 critique videos. Woohoo! So I still need to figure out a way to do all this stuff between tomorrow and Friday. I am almost done updating the SEO, so I'll be able to cross that off soon. Oh, and then let's see, well, I won't cross that off until I finish the digital editing, but that is where we're at in terms of the list. So I think I probably will not vlog anymore today, but I will see you guys in the studio tomorrow. It is Friday morning. Well, Friday, still morning for a few minutes. It's 11:20 on Friday. I didn't get any footage yesterday, and that's basically because I was just doing what you saw me doing all this morning, and I was working on the computer all day. So wasn't anything too exciting. But the good news is I have finished up a bunch of stuff, as you just saw. I was able to cross everything off the list for the YouTube bucket and everything off the list for the Patreon bucket. So anyway, here it is. This is what, I'm just going to flip it around and show it to you. I had this initial list of the things that I wanted to get posted on Patreon before maternity leave, which I've crossed everything off here, but it ended up kind of expanding, as you can see. So because I was getting into all of this, then I was just thinking about kind of like the ongoing stuff and the regular stuff. And this is, I don't know if you guys ever deal with this, but I feel like a challenge for me is that when I start doing one thing, I just see like a million other things that I want to do or have to do. So I probably ended up making this harder than it needed to be, but I like reformatted a bunch of stuff on my Patreon page, and I realized like how nice it would be for patrons. I was planning on telling them like what the schedule was going to be in the coming weeks. And I realized that probably that was something that they would all like to know, and that regardless of whether it was maternity leave or not, it would be helpful to know kind of what was coming down the pipeline. So I made this specific publishing schedule. This is what was going to happen like basically from now all the way through September 1st, when I will definitely be back on a regular schedule. So I'm going to have like a couple of critique videos, a critique video of a puppy painting and a critique video of a sky painting. These are both things that were done by patrons. And then I'm going to do the real-time lemon painting, and I'm launching a new kind of post where called client case studies. Well, I'm trying to be as anonymous as possible, but I'm going to get into like a lot of detail of like what goes on specifically behind the scenes with the client. So in the past, I've shared like some sketches and some reference images and a few notes on the artistic process, but I'm also going to talk about like negotiation and budgeting and pricing and like sometimes the actual correspondence between me and the client. Of course, it will all be anonymized. And this is going to be for the people who are pledging at $5 and above. I get many questions about pricing, and it's something that I just personally care about because I feel like it's a way that being transparent about pricing and being able to share what I know and share the resources that I use, which you hear me talk all the time about the gag guide. So that's number one. But yeah, bringing that into the conversation more often. is a way to give back to the illustration community. And ultimately, I feel like it helps me in the end too, because if we are all doing our best to charge industry rates, it's just going to do nothing but lift up the industry and lift up other illustrators. So I'm super excited about that. And then I'm still going to keep doing some of my behind the scenes posts, which more focus on like the artistic process, not necessarily the business side. And then there will be a new Q&A. So a call for patron questions for a patron exclusive Q&A. And then I'm going to do, again, for the $5 and above patrons, I'm going to do a whole month of all of my Skillshare classes being free. I also then came up with a regular schedule for what I think it's going to be pretty much every month. So the first week of the month, I'll have a call for entries and voting for the patron critique videos. And the second week of the month, I'll have a behind the scenes post. Third week of the month, the critique video will be published. And the fourth week of the month, there will be the client case study post. And then periodically, I'll have real-time videos, Q&As, and then free access to Skillshare classes. So those things will come up periodically as well and will be looped into the monthly schedule. So I spent a lot of time getting all of that squared away, but the good news is now I feel like Patreon is in pretty good shape. So that is good to go. Right now I'm just working on uploading this week's vlog. I had it done, but then I realized that there was no sound. I don't know what went wrong with the file, but there was no sound. So just doing that over again now. You guys are watching this on the 19th. After the 19th, there may be one more studio vlog, depending on whether I go into labor like this weekend or something, or it might just jump right to the prepared content. And so for prepared content, we have, there'll be a video about working with clients. So that'll just be like all the details of taking a project from beginning to end, like from initial communication to like what the timeline looks like, what it actually looks like on the ground to execute a client project. And there'll be one about editorial illustration. And then the week after that, it'll be a how-to video on mounting works on paper to wood panel, which is something I've been talking about doing forever and finally did it. And then the week after that, it'll be a critique video where I'll be critiquing 6 different pieces that my patrons have submitted, and I'll just do like a little tiny mini critique of each one thing that's working well, one thing that can be improved. I wanted to do that on YouTube just to give you guys a sense of like what goes on in the patron critiques. I think it's it's one of my favorite parts of Patreon, so I wanted to share it here with the wider community just to give you guys a sense for that. Then there'll be another working with clients video. This time it'll be about packaging illustration. And then I'm doing a video about inspiration, which is something that I have been asked about a lot over the years. And I feel like I never really get into what I really think about it. I've shared some very general things. So this video, I filmed it already. I'm equal parts excited and anxious about it because, I just have never made a video like it. And I'm pretty, I guess just honest about what I think. And so you'll see what that is. And then there'll be a Q&A that's sort of like a Q&A about clients. I'm working with clients. So I will be asking you all for your questions in the coming weeks. That's what you can expect over the next several weeks. So videos will still be publishing every Friday at between 11:30 and 12. I aim for 11:30, but right now it's 11:30 and I haven't published this week's vlog because of the hiccup with the sound. So anyway, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Hopefully I will be doing one more next week. Thank you to Meg for editing. Thank you to my patrons for supporting this channel, making it possible to have weekly videos. All of this planning, all of this stuff that's happening with being able to like schedule things out for maternity leave is really thanks to my patrons. So just very, very grateful for that. Very grateful for you. And thank you, of course, to everybody who's watching and commenting and liking and all those good things. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. Turn on the bell so you get notifications. I think that's all the things I'm supposed to say. So I will see you guys hopefully in next week's vlog. All right, bye.
Tell me that we could have been more than a memory, a forgotten dream. write you